Good morning, students. How are you? I hope all of you are well. Today we have to start the new chapter, that is the compound interest. You already had done in previous classes, that is in 8th class. And now first of all the learning objectives. In this chapter we have to study simple interest and compound interest, formula for simple interest and compound interest, and the derivation of compound interest by applying the concept of simple interest. Calculate compound interest when the interest is compounded annually, half-yearly and quarterly. And now, as you know, before people begin using money, purchase and sales of goods using to be performed through the direct exchange of goods. As there was no uniformity of various goods under this system, the values of all goods were converted in terms of money, and this ensuring that a proper value is paid for the goods purchased. Once the monetary system became a standard method of value exchange, the necessity to ensure the safety of money came into existence, with an extension to safeguard money and also facilitate availability of money to everyone in the society. And gradually the banking system developed. When we need money, we normally go to bank, post office, insurance corporation and other financial companies which lend money and accept deposits. Sometimes we borrow money, either paying simple interest or compound interest. When the money is borrowed on simple interest, then the interest is calculated uniformly on the original principal throughout the loan period. And in case of compound interest, both the borrower and the lender agree to fix a certain unit of time, say 1 year or a half year or 1/4 of a year, to settle the account. When the money is borrowed on compound interest, the interest accrued during the first unit of time is added to the original principal, and the amount so obtained at the end of the first unit of time and is taken as the principal for the second unit of time. The amount of this principal at the end of the second unit of time becomes the principal for the third unit of the time, and so on. After a certain specified period, the difference between the amount and the money borrowed is called the compound interest. And there are two types of interest, as you know, simple interest and the compound interest. Simple interest is the interest which is calculated on the principal portion of a loan uniformly throughout the loan period. And the formula for the simple interest, that means P into R into T divided by 100, where P is the principal, R is the rate of interest and T is the time period. And amount you have to find, that is principal plus simple interest. And now the compound interest. Compound interest is calculated on the initial principal, which also includes all the accumulated interest from the previous period on a deposit or a loan. यानी कि एक बार हमने जब स्टार्ट कर दिया तो उसके बाद जो टाइम पीरियड है, उस टाइम पीरियड के अकॉर्डिंगली जो इंटरेस्ट हम कैलकुलेट करते हैं वो इंटरेस्ट हम ऐड करते जाते हैं प्रिंसिपल में. And thought to the originated in 17th century in Italy. Compound interest can be thought as the interest on the interest and will make the sum grow at a faster rate than the simple interest, and which is calculated on the principal amount. And now the derivation of compound interest using simple interest. Here P is the principal, time n years, rate of interest is R%, and the simple interest, that is for the first year, that is PRT divided by 100, and amount after the first year, that is principal plus simple interest after 1 year, that is equal to P2, and it becomes P into 1 plus R by 100, and interest for the second year, that is P2, यानी कि जो हमने ये अमाउंट आफ्टर फर्स्ट ईयर है P2, इसका हमने यूज किया P2 इंटू R इंटू T बाय 100, and amount after second year, that is equal to P2 plus simple interest after second year, and that is equal to P2 plus P2 into R into T by 100, and again simplifying this, we get P2 1 plus R by 100, and P2 is P into 1 plus R by 100 into R by 100, and therefore it becomes P into 1 plus R by 100 square. And similarly, if we proceed further to n years, we can deduce this. A is equal to P into 1 plus R by 100 in power n. And compound interest is equal to amount minus principal. That means P into 1 plus R by 100 power n minus 1. ओके, ये ऑलरेडी जो है आप लोगों ने 8th क्लास में किया था. And now for example, we have find the amount and the compound interest on rupees 8,000 for 1.5 years at 10% per annum, the interest being compounded half yearly. यानी कि हमने अमाउंट और कंपाउंड इंटरेस्ट दोनों फाइंड करने हैं. किस अमाउंट पर? 8,000 पर, यानी कि प्रिंसिपल जो है हमारे पास वो 8,000 है और टाइम पीरियड कितना है? 1.5 ईयर, और रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट दैट इज 10% पर एनम, और इंटरेस्ट बीइंग कंपाउंडेड हाफ ईयरली के लिए हर हाफ ईयर्स के बाद, यानी कि हर 6 मंथ्स के बाद हमें जो है इंटरेस्ट कैलकुलेट करना है. एंड नाउ principal for the first half year, that is 8,000. Rate of interest, that is 10% per annum given है, लेकिन हाफ ईयर के लिए हम क्या कंसीडर करेंगे? 5%. तो इंटरेस्ट इज PRT 8,000 into rate 5 into 1, क्योंकि 6 month 1 half year divided by 100, that means we get 400. And amount after first half year 8,000 plus rupees 400, that is equal to rupees 8,400. And now principal for the second year, यानी कि ये जो अमाउंट है वो सेकेंड ईयर के लिए प्रिंसिपल हो जाएगा, और उसके बाद सेम वैसे हम इसका इंटरेस्ट फाइंड करेंगे for the second half year, that means 8,400 into 5 into 1 by 100, that is equal to rupees 420. And now amount after 1 year, पहले हमारे पास जो P2 था वो 8,400 था प्लस 420, ये सेकेंड हाफ का इंटरेस्ट है, and therefore it is rupees 8,820. And now this 8,820 is the principal for the third half year. And now for interest for third half year, 8,820 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 1 by 100, that is equal to rupees 441. And amount after 1.5 year, 8,820 plus 441, that is equal to rupees 9,261. And the compound interest for the 1.5 year, that is the final amount minus principal. The final amount is 9,261 and principal is 8,000, and compound interest will be 1,161. Is it clear? Yes. Now you have to see the second example. Calculate the amount due and the compound interest on rupees 7,500 in 2 years when the rate of interest on successive years is 8% and 10%. यानी कि इसके अंदर हमारे पास जो रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट है वो 8% और 10% है सक्सेसिव ईयर में, यानी कि फर्स्ट ईयर के लिए 8%, सेकेंड के लिए 10%. Now the solution, principal for the first year. Principal for the first year is 7500. Rate is 8%. ओके अब इसमें जो रेट को है हम 8% में इसको हाफ में कन्वर्ट नहीं करेंगे क्योंकि इसको हमने ईयरली फाइंड करना है. लास्ट क्वेश्चन में हमने हाफ ईयरली फाइंड करना था, तो इसलिए हमने रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट को 2 से डिवाइड किया था. अब नाउ इंटरेस्ट फॉर द फर्स्ट ईयर 7500 into 8 into 1 divided by 100, that is equal to 600. सेम इसी तरह से अमाउंट आफ्टर फर्स्ट ईयर that is 8100 and principal for the second year 8100. Now the rate of interest is 10%. पहले के लिए 8% था, सेकेंड के लिए 10% था. तो now the rate of interest is 10% and therefore principal interest for the second year that is 8100, 10 into 1 by 100, that is equal to 810. And therefore the amount due after 2 years 8100 plus 810, that is equal to 8900 rupees. I hope you understand this. And now for the compound interest, that is amount minus principal, that is 8910 minus 7500, that is equal to rupees 1410. Is it clear? Yes. Now next example, the simple interest on a certain money for the 3 years at 5% per annum is 1200 rupees. Find the amount due and the compound interest on this sum of money at the same rate after 3 years. Interest is renewed annually. यानी कि कोई हमारे पास सर्टेन मनी है, उसके लिए जो सिंपल इंटरेस्ट है वो 1200 है और हमने अमाउंट फाइंड करना है और कंपाउंड इंटरेस्ट सेम मनी के लिए आफ्टर 3 इयर्स और इंटरेस्ट को एनुअली कैलकुलेट करना. नाउ द सिंपल इंटरेस्ट फॉर 3 years is 1200. अब ये 1200 हमारे पास सिंपल इंटरेस्ट है. सबसे पहले हम प्रिंसिपल फाइंड करेंगे. तो सिंपल इंटरेस्ट फॉर 1 year के लिए कितना हो जाएगा, क्योंकि 3 years का इंटरेस्ट है, 1 year के लिए 400 हो जाएगा. और नाउ सिंपल इंटरेस्ट PRT by 100, that means 400 is equal to P into 5 into 1 डिवाइडेड बाय 100. सिंपल भी जो है ना 3 इयर्स के लिए 1200 से भी हम इसका प्रिंसिपल फाइंड कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि वहां पर हम जो टाइम है 1 ईयर की बजाय 3 इयर्स ले लेंगे. और प्रिंसिपल हमारे पास कितना आ जाएगा, यानी कि इसको हमने सिंप्लीफाई किया, दैट इज वी गेट प्रिंसिपल 8000 एंड अमाउंट आफ्टर 1 ईयर 8000 प्लस 400, क्योंकि फर्स्ट ईयर के लिए सिंपल इंटरेस्ट और कंपाउंड इंटरेस्ट सेम रहता है. ठीक है, तो इसलिए हमने 400 जो फर्स्ट ईयर वाला सिंपल इंटरेस्ट था उसी को ही काउंट किया है. द अमाउंट आफ्टर 1 ईयर बिकम्स 8400 and now principal for the second year, that is 8400, and interest for the second year 8400, 5 into 1 by 100, that means 420. and now the amount after 2 years add करेंगे प्रिंसिपल के अंदर 8400 plus 420, that means 8820. और interest for the third year 8820, 5 into 1 divided by 100, that is equal to rupees 441. and amount due after 3 years 8820 plus rupees 441, that is equal to 9261. and compound interest will be 9261 minus 8000, दैट इज इक्वल टू 1261। अब डिफरेंस देखिए सिंपल इंटरेस्ट और कंपाउंड इंटरेस्ट में। सिंपल इंटरेस्ट में 1200 आया था और कंपाउंड इंटरेस्ट हमारे पास आया है 1261। ठीक है, दैट इज आफ्टर 3 years। And now we have the next example. A man borrows rupees 5,000 at 12% compound interest per annum. Interest payable after 6 months. And he pays back and rupees 1,800 at the end of every 6 months. Calculate the third payment he has to make at the end of 18 months in order to clear the entire loan। यानी कि जो उसने बोरो किया 5,000, 12% कंपाउंड इंटरेस्ट है पर एनम, और आफ्टर 6 मंथ के बाद उसने जो पे किया और 1,800 जो उसने वापस पे कर दिया, यानी कि जो उसका प्रिंसिपल है उसमें से 1,800 वो माइनस करेगा। और कैलकुलेट द थर्ड पेमेंट, हमने थर्ड पेमेंट बतानी है एट द एंड ऑफ 18 मंथ्स, वो पूरे लोन को क्लियर करने के लिए कितना करेगा। रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट 12% पर एनम है, तो रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट हाफ ईयरली की 6% हो जाएगी। प्रिंसिपल कितना है 5,000 और इंटरेस्ट फॉर द फर्स्ट ईयर दैट इज ₹300 और अमाउंट आफ्टर फर्स्ट 6 मंथ यानी कि 5,000 प्लस 300 दैट इज इक्वल टू 5,300। यानी कि अब उसको जो है ना फर्स्ट 6 के मंथ के बाद 5,300 देने हैं, पर वो सोचता है कि चलो मैं कुछ दे देता हूँ, कुछ बाद में दूंगा, यानी कि उसने 1,800 रुपीज तो दे दिए। ठीक है, तो जो प्रिंसिपल हो जाएगा सेकेंड 6 मंथ के लिए वो हो जाएगा 5,300 माइनस 1,800 दैट इज इक्वल टू 3,500। और इंटरेस्ट फॉर द सेकेंड 6 मंथ 3,500 इंटू 6 इंटू 100 that is equal to 210 और अमाउंट आफ्टर सेकेंड 6 मंथ 3,500 प्लस 210 that is equal to ₹3,710। अगेन वो 1,800 रिटर्न कर देता है। ठीक है, तो प्रिंसिपल फॉर द थर्ड 6 मंथ विल बी 3,710 minus 1,800 that is equal to ₹1,910 and interest for the third 6 month that is 1,910 multiplied by 6 into 1 divided by 100 that is equal to ₹114.60 or payment be made at the end of 18 months to clear the entire loan। यानी कि उसने पे तो करना था 1910 और इंटरेस्ट हो गया 11.60 यानी कि अमाउंट जो उसने पे करना है थर्ड आफ्टर 18 मंथ्स दैट इज 2024.60। इज इट क्लियर टू एवरीवन? यस। नाउ नेक्स्ट एग्जांपल, आशा इन्वेस्ट ₹2,40,000 for 2 years at the 10% per annum compounded annually if the income tax at 20% is deducted at the end of each year's on interest accrued. Find the amount she received at the end of the years। यानी कि इसके अंदर क्या है कि 2,40,000 तो उसका प्रिंसिपल है, रेट है 10% टाइम 2 years है। फर्स्ट ईयर के लिए हम क्या फाइंड करेंगे, पहले इंटरेस्ट फाइंड करेंगे। इंटरेस्ट आ गया 24,000। ठीक है, फिर उसके बाद जो है ना इनकम टैक्स, क्योंकि हर साल वो इनकम टैक्स भी पे करता है। कितना इनकम टैक्स पे करता है? 20% ऑफ जो उसका इंटरेस्ट है। इंटरेस्ट कितना आता है 24,000 यानी कि 20% ऑफ 24,000 दैट इज इक्वल टू ₹4,800 और नेट अमाउंट आफ्टर फर्स्ट ईयर, तो फर्स्ट ईयर के लिए उसकी अमाउंट कितनी हो जाएगी 2,40,000 प्लस इंटरेस्ट माइनस 4,800 दैट इज इक्वल टू ₹2,59,200। अब ये जो 2,59,200 है ये प्रिंसिपल है सेकेंड ईयर के लिए। फिर सेम इसी तरह से हम सेकेंड ईयर के लिए इंटरेस्ट फाइंड करेंगे दैट इज 2,59,200 into 10 into 1 divided by 100. That is equal to rupees 2,59,000. This 25,920. Or income tax on 25,920. That means 20% of this amount. That is rupees 5184. And net amount after 2 years, that is 2,59,200 plus 25,920 minus 5184, that is equal to 279936. Is it clear? Okay, today you have to do first exercise of compound interest. Thank you and have a nice day.